2,000 years ago, a man sat in Rome, surrounded by power, wealth, the emperor himself, and he wrote letters about time, about fear, about dying, about wasting your life. His name was Seneca, and he may have understood the human condition better than anyone who ever lived. Lucius Annaeus Seneca was born around 04 BC, in Córdoba, Spain. He came to Rome as a young man, and rose to become the most powerful advisor in the empire. Tutor to Nero, one of the wealthiest men of his era, a senator, a playwright, a philosopher. He had everything the world tells you to want, and he spent his entire life warning you not to chase it. That contradiction is not hypocrisy, it is honesty. He lived inside the system, and saw exactly what it cost. Seneca's first obsession was time. Not productivity, not success, time itself. He wrote one of the most devastating opening lines in all of philosophy. It is not that life is short, it is that we waste so much of it. Read that again. You do not lack time. You leak it into distraction, into other people's priorities, into worry about things that never happen. Seneca said, lay hold of today's task. Make yourself less dependent on tomorrow. The person who lives for tomorrow never actually lives. Seneca thought about death every single day, not as something dark, as something clarifying. He wrote, let us prepare our minds as if we had come to the very end of life. Why? Because when you really believe you will die, you stop postponing, you stop tolerating people who drain you, you stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. It has always been now. Here is the line that will change how you see anxiety forever. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about the last thing that kept you awake at 3 a.m. The conversation you feared, the thing that could go wrong, the worst-case scenario playing on repeat. Did it happen? And if it did, was it as bad as the version in your head? Seneca knew, the mind is a terrible storyteller. It always makes the villain bigger than he is. Here is the one Seneca practice that most people never try. He called it voluntary discomfort. Once a month, he would eat the plainest food, wear rough, simple clothes, sleep on a hard surface, not because he had to, because he chose to. His reason was simple. If you rehearse poverty, you will never fear it. Most people are trapped by comfort. They cannot say no to their boss, their habits, their addictions, because they are terrified of what life looks like without them. Seneca removed that fear on purpose. Try it. Go one day without your phone, one meal without your comfort food, one morning without your usual routine. Feel what happens. That discomfort is freedom in disguise. Seneca wrote an entire book on anger. On anger is one of the greatest psychological texts ever written. His conclusion, anger is always a choice, always destructive, and always beneath a rational person. He wrote, the greatest cure for anger is delay. Before you send that message, before you say the thing you cannot unsay, wait, even 10 seconds. Anger is fire, and fire needs oxygen. Starve it. In 65 AD, Emperor Nero turned on him, accused of conspiracy, ordered him to die. Seneca chose to take his own life, and he did it the way he had lived. With complete composure, he dictated final words to his scribes. He reassured the friends weeping around him. He said, I leave to you the one thing that is more lasting than all others, the pattern of my life. And then he died, completely at peace, because he had spent his whole life preparing for exactly this moment. That is what philosophy is for. Not for debates, not for classrooms, for the moments that test everything you are. Seneca was not perfect. He was rich while preaching simplicity, powerful while warning against power. But that is exactly why we trust him. He was not speaking from a mountain. He was speaking from inside the same trap you are in, and he found a way out. His way out was not money, not status, not more time. It was clarity about what matters, about what does not, about the one life you actually have. He said it best: begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. That is it. That is everything. If this hit you, subscribe. More wisdom like this every week.